You are listening to Venus Rose, interactive spiritual Q&A and the power of sound.
Music is like sunshine.
Hello, conscious souls. How are you feeling? The sun has moved out of the watery, emotional, and reflective zodiac sign of Cancer and has entered Leo, the fixed fire sign whose ruler is the sun in Western astrology, is about radiating energy to the outside. So, what we've been pondering about within ourselves in the last weeks wants to express itself. Creativity and childlike innocence wants to be displayed. Leo also rules the ego, so the individual and its desires are in front and center. This is not necessarily negative, but can easily slip into only self-centered narratives in the upcoming weeks. The sign of Leo is represented by the lion and its regal aura. I want to dive more into that section, but maybe when we are a little closer to the Lion's Gate, an energetic portal which is opening end of July but will reach its peak on the 8th of August. This annual event marks the alignment of our Sun in Leo with the star Sirius. Jupiter has entered Leo and is currently in the early degrees, while the Sun is following closely. They will meet for a conjunction on July 29th, when the full moon in Aquarius is also happening. Some astrologers say that this is going to be an intense week that could reveal things that have been hidden before. I went to the cinema with my friend Sarah to watch Christopher Nolan's epic take on the thousands of years old Greek saga, the Odyssey. There has been a lot of anticipation for this movie for a while, but also plenty of criticism. It is not my place to criticize others for their opinions. We are all free to put it out there. It is not my place to criticize others for their opinions. We are all free to put it out there. But I found it quite fascinating how severe discussions have been. The movie displayed many things, but that there are no real winners in war was one of them. I am not familiar with the details of the conflicts in the Bronze Age, but to me it is not much different than today. So many thousands of years and humankind is still going to war. At the end of the day, it is also a tale about family, which makes the story relatable. When I spoke to my friend Sarah on the Southern Hemisphere 2 days ago, she said, "It's so funny that you are sharing your thoughts with me about the saga, because I'm reading Joseph Campbell's A Hero with Thousand Faces currently and thought a lot about Odysseus, the last days. How he is special, as he cares a lot about his men and wants them to survive. We spoke about the different archetypes and how they repeat themselves in their core, meaning, all around the world. How the different pantheons of gods are so similar in different cultures. The first theme that stands out for me personally from my spiritual point of view in this saga is the paradigm of the masculine that I'm often confronted with in my one-on-one sessions. Seldom by the men themselves, but through their women. It is this deep pain that is inherited from the ancestors, that resides in the subconscious mind and the genetics. Not only the passed down PTSD from many wars, but the major pattern of being the perpetrator and the victim at the same time. What atrocities have men endured, and the countless wars on one hand, and being the ones that carried them out on the other side. Only few in power command the others to bow down to follow their orders. This is something that comes up to the conscious mind in many men these days, especially in the younger generation, who know that there is a big pattern that needs to be healed in order for the world to change. A new, more balanced way of the masculine is on the rise. There has to be a recognition of the feminine side within the male in order to heal fully, and then be able to let go of the guilt regarding the female. These are deep, deep wounds, and we have to be aware that every being, non-binary or gender fluid, carries both gender within. And both sides have old wounds that need to be taken care of, otherwise humanity will not evolve. The female is portrayed in this world as being inferior by many religions, the victim, always suppressed. During the times of the Inquisition, wise women were hunted, tortured, and silenced in many ways. Many around the world are still today. The wrath of the woman, the womb man, shows itself often in thyroid gland issues, where the throat chakra is blocked, and in cancer cells. I don't want to get too dark in this episode, but I decided to speak my truth about the dichotomy in men, warped feelings about being the perpetrator and the victim simultaneously. There are most of the time not conscious about, because we are not taught that kind of stuff. This is, from my point of view, the reason for a lot of violence and diseases. The blocked heart chakra that made it difficult to feel compassion. The tables are turning, and times are changing bit by bit, so that humanity can heal the collective trauma, so that we can leave the dark cycles behind us, ushering in a new golden age. Back to our friend Odysseus, a smart, confident king who was loved by his men and respected, and from what I've read, did not want to go to war in the first place. All the stations on their journey back home after they have won the Trojan War reminded me of the spiritual path. You can view this adventures Odysseus and his crew have as levels you go on every initiation path. Different points where you are tested. Hideous creatures who want to feed off your energy until you meet your shadow with Hades, the god of the underworld. Are you willing to be confronted with the darkness within you? What about the sirens? Of course, I have to mention them, as they sing songs. Seductive ones, and in a way that those who listens leave their lives behind. Whether if they speak truth or not, their frequency does not help you evolve. We all have met people who sounded great at first, but we realized that we lose ourselves if we follow them, so our discernment needs to be sharp. You get where I'm going. It is a journey to more awareness. I specifically do not say enlightened in this context, because at the end of many Greek sagas, things seem not to be bright. On the other hand, I believe we all carry the light within us. We just have to turn up the volume, so to speak. So my question for you to ponder about for today's episode is, what if Odysseus is dreaming all of this? What if it is all playing out in his subconscious mind? Please don't get me wrong, I love magic and all that stuff, but I find it interesting that all these women they meet on the journey play such huge roles. From Circe to Calypso and then back to Penelope. What if this is a view of healing the female aspects within him? Anyway, this is just food for thought. I believe every one of us has our own personal hero's journey. We have to face the darkness from the inside in order to not get in resonance with what the dark forces in the world want to lure us in. It is on us to decide which road we want to take in life and what is the most important for us. Odysseus decides to go back home to his queen Penelope. The only one who realizes it's him in disguise, though, is his loyal dog. At the end of the day, what we put our attention on will grow in our life. I emphasize on love, truth, trust, compassion, clarity, communication, coherence, and light in various forms. I love to hear from you. Leo season has just started. Our themes are creativity, children, romance, royalty, or confidence. You can leave questions in the comments of my YouTube channel named Crystal Seraphim Sounds or my Instagram. For those of you who do not have social media and love to send questions or would like to book a one-on-one session to go on a soul sound journey with me, send me an email for further details. You can find everything in the show notes. Thank you for tuning in. I wish you a beautiful weekend. Love to you all. Rose.